How you doing, guys? It was in the mid-1970s. CB's got to be a really big affair. You could tell that by the movies, a lot of songs on the radios, but everybody just had to have a CB. And we were no different. Started out kind of small, had a CB set up in the house, soon went to mobile, started talking to a few friends that I already knew. Kind of morphed, my whole family got into it. And as they got into it, the group started getting larger and larger and larger, and any one or two or three of these people would be on at any given time. Well, as it was, found out what they used to have were these called eyeballs, where Sunday morning a group of these CBers would meet somewhere, usually at a local coffee shop. The group had gotten so large that it morphed from coffee shops to backyard barbecues. And the group was quite large, and they were actually kind of quite fun for a while. And as time went on, the CBers started getting to know each other. And instead of just being voices in the box, you actually were able to place a face and a personality to these people. As time had moved on, this group started breaking down into littler groups. We'd all still be at the same barbecues, but everybody had their favorite group of people they liked to speak to, which is basically human nature. But when do groups become cliques? It started off that certain individuals didn't want other individuals in their groups, so they started isolating certain people away from their groups. What happened then, if they saw somebody in their group speaking to what they may have thought was an undesirable, they'd put pressure on that person not to speak to that individual. It started getting to be a less and less fun as this was going on. Then certain individuals were no longer invited to these eyeballs, and other people started expressing their dislike for other people. Now, after a while, it was no longer any fun, and the group kind of disbanded. The fad kind of died off, and with that, the certain individuals you just didn't see anymore. There were a few floaters here and there that you kept in touch with, but as it was, for the most part, it was done. I noticed this with YouTube as well. It was about 4 years ago when I started watching the XJW community. Never commented for a couple of years, but I watched. And it appeared some of the YouTubers I was watching, Mike and Kim, were one of the first, Jason Zelda, Son of Thunder, Spike R, and it appeared they all had one agenda, exposing Watchtower. As it was, I started watching more and more YouTubers, subscribing to every which one I could, and unfortunately in this day and age, it's virtually impossible to watch each and every one. Certain individuals started meeting other YouTubers, which is fine, that's great. Of late, there seemed to be kind of a wedge in some members of the XJW community. I'm not going to point out personalities and stuff, but that's also human nature. You can have differences with opinions. And that's what happens, unfortunately, when you start meeting people. There's certain things that you don't agree with, certain things that you may not like. I'm sure there are a lot of things I do and say on my channel that people object to. I don't like everything I see, but I don't make a comment about it because it's not my place. When you start putting pressure on certain YouTubers to think a certain way, you may not be saying, I'm probably going to lose some subscribers over this and anger a few people out there, but I was never one much to kiss up to the masses. I was never very cliquish. I never really hung out with any groups, which is one reason I made a horrible Jehovah's Witness. But when you start putting pressure to avoid certain individuals, is this not the black and white thinking that we all got away from? I mean, it's kind of like being mocked. I mean, when you were one of Jehovah's Witnesses, you thought a certain way. You acted a certain way. And anybody who didn't act like that, you pretty much avoided. The XJW community, yes, we're all on the same page. But it's not groupthink. We may not all agree with what someone else does, but it's none of our business to tell them what they should be doing and should not be doing. You may be able to suggest it, but you don't isolate that person because of it. Excuse me for 1 second, guys. Several weeks ago, myself and one other well-known YouTuber were attacked. I'm not going to say by a troll because she's not a troll. But this person made some accusations that we were bashing another well-known YouTuber, which wasn't the case. This other person and I both checked the comments section of the video in question. Couldn't find it. The only thing we could figure, it was a YouTuber that was not very popular with the XJW community. And that's all we could figure out. You may not agree with certain YouTubers, but I will not be pressured, and the other person feels the same way, of who we can give our support to, who we can watch, who we can't watch. But that's all we could figure this was pressure because this person wasn't very popular. I was quite angry because this person not only made these accusations against us, but brought it to another YouTuber's channel. I haven't seen this person in the comments section for a while. It's somebody who's commented on my videos before, and to this day we don't know what the issue was. On my last couple of videos, I noticed there were a lot of new commenters who I've seen in other comment sections, but have never commented on this channel before. I let it go for a while, but it looked to me that they were trying to cause a rift between people that have commented on this channel for about a year now who have supported this channel. I let it go for a while until I put a stop to it. I let it go for a short amount of time. But to you people who just recently, and YouTube Batman Matrix, I'm talking about you as well, if you had any stones at all, you'd stop deleting your comments, and I know you do it on Vicky's channel as well. As well as a few others who have recently started commenting. If you have something constructive to bring to this channel, that's fine. When you start causing problems between myself and subscribers of this channel and people who have been supporting this channel from day one, not happening. I have no problem with you commenting, but you're not going to have a war in my comment section. I don't like cliques. I never belonged to a clique. And nobody is going to push me into siding with this one, that one, against this one or that one. I'm pretty much a lone wolf when it comes to that. If you don't like it, don't watch. But that's the way I feel about it. When I saw these cliques developing in the 1970s, it was at that point I started being very leery of them. Like I said, I've never kissed up to the masses to be popular with the cool guys, this, that, or the other thing. I've pretty much done my own thing. When I made that clear when I was one of Jehovah's Witnesses, they kind of figured they had a problem because peer pressure doesn't work on me. Anyways, guys, that's all I wanted to bring out. But before you start succumbing to this groupthink idea, you may want to think of how it's looking on the outside. You may want to think of the people that are trying to cause a rift in the XJW community. Because if this rift grows anymore, who wins? Not us. Okay, guys? We're all on the same page as far as this goes. We're not going to agree with everything that somebody does and says. We may be able to privately recommend that they don't, as far as maybe being too aggressive with the current JWs, because we never know who's awake and who's not. Anyways, guys, just think about this before anybody gets any animosity with somebody else in the XJW community. We're all in this together, but we're also separate individuals. Anyways, guys, that's all I wanted to say. I don't want to make this too long of a video. I will get back to you in a few days. I want to thank my subscribers. I mean, after I called it quits last month, I'm just amazed that the majority of you are still there, but thank you very much. I'd love to hear your comments, and I will see you in a few days, guys. You have a good day.